Coro Fellow in the 1980s. I won't say which end of the 1980s, but in the 1980s. And if there's one word, I'll use the word discovery.
It's a paradigm for dealing with uncertainty.
A medical internship model of the body of the community and politics.
Once in a lifetime opportunity.
Coro is an organization that prepares people to build consensus among folks who don't agree on much.
Coro is a network of people,
a nonpartisan public affairs process
who share a common vocabulary
that allows people to experience different sectors.
The public sector, the private sector, labor, media.
Coro trains people to develop that unique knack for helping people find out that, in fact, maybe they do share a lot more in common than they, at first blush, think.
All great leaders have, as I was taught by my training director, courage, capacity, and character.
Having a vision, knowing where you want to go.
To be both bold and humble.
Making meaningful change.
The act of one person can really put a democracy on edge.
Is when people decide to really engage in some of the complex issues that affect society, that make people uncomfortable.
The city is only as good as the leaders who are governing at any given time.
And that's what we're really trying to do, is make leadership something that happens every day.
It was far more than a networking program.
I knew that I needed training, but I needed experiences.
Coro teaches you, gives you the discipline to know what are the right questions to ask to get at what the core of the issue is, not the spin version of what the issue is.
Everybody can come at the same question from a slightly different perspective, given our background, given our upbringing.
Coro gave me the practice to enable to bring these various stakeholder groups together to get them to at least have a conversation.
The Coro idea emerged with Don Fletcher and Van Dyne Dodge
out of the desire for the public to engage.
You need people who are committed to enabling the system to work well for all folks.
And if you look at 3 senators that are now serving that are Coro Fellows.
I was the only African American male in my group.
Labor, if you look at business.
But we had a lot of very tense discussions about the issue of race relations.
You can't simply try to say, this is where I'm at, this is where you need to be.
So I think Coro can play a vital role in improving race relations, not only in Southern California, but actually in the state of California.
If you want to change the world, somehow we all have to work together.
There is a reason the Princeton Review called it the triathlon of leadership training programs.
An internship supervisor who is not just going to park someone in a corner.
It accelerates your learning process by 5 to 10 years.
But is actually going to invite the fellow in to meetings, to shadow them, to experience a labor negotiation.
And gave me the skills necessary to be successful.
It opened up my eyes to a whole different world.
We all can have opinions.
Really created an opportunity for me to take risks in a safe environment.
But the Coro method was to challenge where those opinions came from.
Those placements, those interviews are just a vehicle for self-discovery.
What we're trying to figure out in our stewardship is what is enough. What is enough for our environment and what is enough for our community, not just for today, but for generations to come.
There is a strong network of people.
Almost every year I've had a fellow.
And Coro develops people who develop a very special kind of trust.
It gives you the skills, the preparation.
The development of young minds and ambitions into a framework of leadership.
And the hope and belief that you can actually make a difference.
So that they can not only apply their intellect and their ideas, but really put themselves into this process, and the alignment of their passions is not done in traditional education.
If you don't work at strengthening democracy,
if more elected officials, I can say that,
and protecting it
had a Coro year,
you can lose democracy.
I think our government in general, our political processes would be much better off.
I am the person that the younger me looked at back when I was 26 in Coro, and I was in awe of those people who were serving the city.
It's the boot camp for leadership, and we could use lots more boot camps like Coro.
And there is also this strong sense of needing to mentor those who are coming behind us so that we can do a warm handoff to the next generation and know that the city, Los Angeles, is going to be in good hands for our kids and our grandchildren.